all Israel. He ain't say some of Israel. He's saying all. It's only 12 tribes. Go ahead and read up.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So it shall come to pass. It's a prophecy. It will happen. If we will listen unto the voice of the Lord our God,
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Equal to all nations.
Above all nations of the earth.
So if we listen and be obedient to the voice of the Lord thy God and keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, he's going to set us above all people on the face of the earth, right? It's a flip side to that. Let's find out. 28, you know, 115.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
Now, if we will not listen, remember, go ahead.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these what?
All these curses,
all these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay, so it's two sides of a coin here. Moses speaking to the children of Israel, and he said, if we will listen and follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments, we'll be set on high above all nations.
That's right.
The flip side, if we will not listen, Daniel 9 and 10, Daniel 9 and 10, if we will not listen, we will be cursed, right? Did you get that? Did you hear that when we wrote it? Hold up, let's read it again.
Bring it up.
Wait, he gonna get it. Get up, 9 10, yeah, just use Daniel. We're going to read that for me.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Yeah.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So that's the flip side. If we listen and observe through his laws, statutes, and commandments, we'll be set on high. If we will not listen, we'll be cursed.
That's right.
Right? Let's find out, did the children of Israel listen or did they not listen? Let's see what Daniel says.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
All Israel has broken God's law.
Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
The what?
The curse is poured upon us.
Now the curse is poured upon the children of Israel because we didn't listen to God. We didn't listen to Moses when he told us to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
So God punished us.
That's
When
right.
you get the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 45, Hebrew, right? And let me get 28 and 32, right? What you got?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45.
Now, remember, we're in this predicament because we're cursed, right? We're on the lowest. We're on the lowest jobs, right? We're making the lowest wages. We're in the slums and the ghettos because we broke God's laws. That's why. Go ahead and read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Until when?
Till thou be destroyed.
Now we destroyed as a people because we don't even know that we're the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Go ahead and read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the Lord, unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Because we hearken is not unto the voice of the Lord our God.
to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he command thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So now these curses is going to be on the children of Israel for a sign and a wonder.
And upon thy seed forever.
So now, since God said these curses is going to be on us for a sign and for a wonder, the wonder, when you wonder, who am I? They're going to be on us for a sign to let us know. So the curses is on the children of Israel to let you know who they are in the year 2021.
Right.
Because remember, he said we're going to be cursed forever. We're going to be cursed until our Messiah come back and redeem us.
That's right.
All right? Now, we're going to get some curses. Because remember, these curses is on the children of Israel for a sign and a wonder to let you know who they are on the earth today. Go ahead and read what you got, Up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32.
Bring it out.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand,
Now we got to go into history to understand or buy our book, because this is a history book. It's a past, present, and future. That's how we know that we're in the end days. We can tell you the prophecies that's going to happen. We can tell you the things that's going to happen. That's what we out here to warn our people, all right? And let them know who we are in the earth today before the destruction comes, and they're going to see what that taste of fire, that lake of fire is really like. We out here to warn our people because we're trying to save them from the lake of fire. Our God don't play, King.
That's right.
But the thing is, he's fair, right? Because he gives us a chance to get it together. That's why we got grace. That's what Messiah came for, to give us grace. So we won't be put to death on sight, because if we sinned before, we got stoned and put to death if anybody found out about it. Now he gave us grace, so we can have time to get it together.
That's right.
All right? All right, go ahead and read that. One more time from the top. All right? This is a curse. This is in history, but it's the curse that was on the children of Israel for a sign and wonder. Let's see what this curse is, and did it happen to the Israelites, or did it happen to everybody on the face of the earth? Read what you got, Art.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32.
Bring it out.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Read up.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And our eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. Because when Master Johnson sold our child to Master Jennings down the street, we never saw our sons or our daughters again.
That's right.
But we wondered, how was our sons and our daughters doing? Did they have a good master? Did they have a bad master? Were they being mistreated? Right? Were they being treated good? We always wondered this thing, because when they gave our children away, we never seen them again. And if we did see them, we wouldn't know who they are, because they would be grown. See what I'm saying? So this is history. Whose sons and daughters was given unto another people? Was the Caucasian man's sons and daughters given into another people? What about the Arabs? The Arabs? No. What about the Chinese? The Chinese went into slavery, and no, it only happened to the children of Israel, right?
Right.
Go ahead and bring that out for me. 41 up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 41. Thou shalt begot sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
So we're going to have sons and daughters, but we ain't going to be able to enjoy them because they will go into captivity.
That's right.
See that, King? Now, did his people go into captivity? And when their sons and daughters were able to see them again? They ain't have sons and daughters and was given to another people. That only happened to the Israelites. Now remember, these is curses that's on the children of Israel to let us know who they are. To identify the children of Israel today.
That's right.
See that, King? It's deep. It's going to get deeper. All right, go back to, give me 30. Deuteronomy 28 and 30 real quick, Hebrew. Bring this one out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Now, during slavery, I may have a wife. Just say I'm back then in slavery. I may have a wife. We out we picking cotton, right? And master looking, lusting after my wife, right? And he'll take my wife, take her in the shed, hit her, and send her back out. Did that happen? That didn't happen in history? See that? Because it's a history book. I was telling these is curses that's on the children of Israel. Read that part one more time, Mark.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
But the thing is, today, now that our people think we free because they give us leeway, now we popping our own sisters and whoring them out, right? If they even have a baby, then we leaving them. We don't want to deal with the responsibility. We just want to hop from one female to another because of the rap songs and the rap music that was going over earlier. You see what I'm saying? All right, you got something? Give me 42. I think that's what I want. 3. So that's 3.
This is book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thy Salakia, that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Now, a stranger is a non-Israelite people, a heathen. They're the strangers. God said the strangers is going to get up above the Israelites very high.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And the Israelites going to come down very low.
He shall lead to thee,
He shall lend to us,
and thou shalt not lend to him.
and we shall not lend to him. So the heathens is going to be able to lend money to the Israelites, but the Israelites will not be able to lend to the other nations. Sound like your banks today? We go to the bank and get a loan, right? It better be a small loan. It better not be no loan for a house or for a business, because we automatically going to get denied. True as fuck. See what I'm saying? So this is a curse that's on the children of Israel, kid.
Right.
You see that?
Wake him up.
See that? Read that one more time for me, y'all.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Meaning if they shall be the head, they shall get everything first, and we shall be the tail, we should get everything last. Go ahead and read what you got. Let's find out another curse that's on the children of Israel. These curses is only on the children of Israel, not the other people. Go ahead and read up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt
thou be in the city, and cursed shall the children of Israel be in the fields. Who's in the sugarcane fields? Israel, like the cotton fields, sugarcane fields, tobacco fields. Who was working hard bondage or slavery? There you go, King. In the field, right? You gotta pick enough cotton. If they ain't picked enough cotton, it was a punishment, right? They got beaten, maybe get a limb cut off, right? So we was the ones that was cursed in the city and cursed in the field. We went over the curse in the city because we're in a low state. They got projects built just for us. They got gated communities for the rich, where they houses, they big houses, $1 million houses. It's protected by a fence, but you got to go with through a man that's at the gate to let you go in there. It's built like that to keep us out. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's called the gated community.
That's right.
But it ain't like it's gated projects. They got $1 million houses up in there, right? Now, we are able to get some. We don't qualify for all of them. I'm talking about the millionaires. I'm talking about football players, basketball players, singers. They can't get anything. They just can't have enough money to just go buy any house just because they got it. Don't think that we got it like that. We got a little part where we could go but so far and we can get some gated communities, but it ain't the high gated communities.
That's
See what
right.
I'm saying?
Teach 'em, Mark.
So it's always a limit for the children of Israel.
That's right.
So we're cursed in the city because the ghettos was made just for us, and we was cursed in the field. Look at the history. You can see what happened in the past, how we was cursed in the field, right? What you got? Give me 48, give me 68. We're going to get to the point.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 4.
Hold that, and we'll come right back. Let me get 68 first. Because how did our ancestors get over here to America?
The boat, right?
Right. Was it a yacht? A nice little yacht. We had our feet up drinking champagne. It was more of a slave ship, right?
Right.
Packed and stacked like sardines, right? Let's read it out of the Bible. Yeah, that's in here too. Let's find out. Hold that. Matter of fact, stay right there and get Exodus after this. Go ahead.
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now the Lord is going to bring the children of Israel into Egypt again. Remember, Moses brought us out of Egypt. God said we're going to, because we're cursed, we're going to go into Egypt again. Let's find out what Egypt means according to the Bible. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Bondage. Out of the house of bondage. Bondage means slavery.
That's right.
Right? Egypt means slavery. That's why they got it on your dollar bill, the pyramid.
Right.
Refugees or bondage or slavery. We're still in captivity. Right? And they throw it in our face, but we're so dumbed down we don't pick up on these symbolic symbols. Right? So now that we know what Egypt is, let's go back to Deuteronomy and read that one more time because we know it's slavery.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Straight out.
That's why he said we're going to go into slavery again. We're going to go back into Egypt again because we walked out of Egypt. But now, let's see. He said we're going to go into Egypt again, into slavery again. Read that from the top, huh?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
No, with airplanes.
With ships.
With a train.
With ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The same way he said it was going to happen.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
We shall see our homeland no more again, King. Because God said it was going to happen, and it happened. That's why it's called prophecy.
That's right.
When you get into this book and read it the correct way, King, you see all the prophecies that really happened and came to pass. We
That's
just
right.
read you one when Christ was going to come. The people ain't know when he was going to come, but he had to come down and touch down and sacrifice himself for us.
That's right.
For the children of Israel. That was a prophecy. It happened. Those same prophecies happened all the way up until now. Now you're seeing it.
That's right.
Prophecy was the coronavirus. That was one plague. It's a rat infestation over there in Australia. Did you hear about that? Rat infest. You ain't hear about that. All this is on YouTube. I mean, this is billions of rats over there mussing up the crops and everything. They ain't got no food. They living, sleeping in the houses with them, in the farms with them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's our enemy. It's a plague. God is plaguing this place.
Right.
Grasshoppers was in Oregon and as well as other around the world, to where there's so many grasshoppers. You just drive and they just hitting your car, right? I mean, it's too many to put a number on it. But they was also mussing up the crops that's over here in America.
That's right.
As well as the flooding that's here, over here in America. It's all around the world. It's mussing up all the crops because we got a famine that's coming.
Right.
A food and a famine of the word of God.
That's right.
They hate that this truth is out. This truth is spreading like wildfire. It ain't just spraying like wildfire just over here in America or just in Pittsburgh. It's all over the world. God did enter his spirit into his true servants, and now we out here on the highways and hedges teaching our people who we are according to the Bible. Because God said he's going to enter the spirit into us to wake up the remnant. Remnant means remaining children before his son returns.
That's right.
That's why we're going to be in the last days. That's why it's time to get it together. That's why we're warning our people of the destruction that comes. Because once it hit, it's too much. Ain't no thing I can repent now. No, the chance to repent is now. All right, go ahead and read that back. Let's get back on subject.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
Now, our people, we came over on slave ships. God said they weren't going to see their homeland no more again. So whenever they came over here on slave ships, ain't none of them go back to Israel or Africa. None of them went back. They died. Now, we are the offspring of that. We here today. Go ahead and bring that out, huh?
This is the book of Deuteronomy.
Hold on, before we go there, did the Caucasian go into slavery on slave cargo ships? What about the Arabs? Did the Arabs go into slavery on slave cargo ships? What about the Chinese? It's just the children of Israel.
That's right.
Go ahead and read, huh?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You gonna do what?
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
Why is that, huh?
which the Lord shall send against thee.
Who shall sin against them?
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord put the other nations on top of us. Okay? Because we broke his what? Laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, huh?
In hunger and thirst and nakedness and in want of all things.
So he was going to bring us, put our people, the other nations over us in hunger. So now we want food, we got to go to them. They own all the food businesses. We may own a little something or got a little business, but it don't last long because they keep raising the taxes and the product up on us. We can't even get a Chinese, like a hair salon. Like we get the hair salon to do hair, but we can't own the hair product. They won't allow us to touch it. That's only, they made a pact with the Chinese people. That's why you see so many Chinese stores in our neighborhood selling our people fake hair. How much money they make off of us, man? But they won't allow us to get a shop to sell hair. Why don't none of us got a hair shop like the Chinese do? Well, some of us finally make it to the point where we own like a little small store, right? Or a little restaurant, you know what I'm saying? But the real money, we're not making it. And if we do own something, like I said, they keep raising the taxes on it until we can't afford it or we're not making nothing off of it, so we give up.
Tell him one more time.
Right? Go ahead, Ar.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger,
The food we just explained,
and in thirst.
and in thirst. We paying for water that falls freely from the sky, King. We pay for water. If we don't pay, if you don't pay your water bill, what's gonna happen? The water gets shut off.
That's right.
Right? And if we don't want to drink that nasty, polluted, contaminated water that come out of our faucet, now we got to go to the store and buy a bottle of water.
That's right.
So now we paying for water. So we said we got to go to our enemies and the want of food and the want of drink. What else?
And in nakedness.
And the clothes. We may own, I put a name on the shirt, right? We don't own the fabric, right? You got Jay-Z, he got some material out there, right? He got his name on it. A lot of rappers and people in the entertainment, they got t-shirts. They get the t-shirts from the manufacturer, right? The textile company, and then they put their print on it. We don't own the fabric, right? So we still getting it from our enemies. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
We gotta pay for our birth certificate. We gotta pay just to get buried if we lose somebody, King. He said in a one of all things, right? We're gonna go to our enemies for help if we need some medical attention, right? We go to the hospital, they charge us, they bill us. We go into our enemies. Most of our enemies working on us. We got people up in the hospital, but most of it's gonna be them working on us. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
So he said we're gonna go to them in a want of all things for a vehicle. You want a motor vehicle? You gotta pay that what is that title? You know what I'm saying? You get your vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Your house. We own the house for only so long because the taxes gonna run up on the house, and eventually the house is gonna go back to the government. It's gonna go. It may get passed down from generation to generation, but it's gonna always be that one family member that's gonna muss it up, and the government come and take the house because they got too behind on taxes. And why, when the taxes go, if you miss a payment, why do it go up hundreds of dollars? If you, you know what I'm saying, if you owe taxes, like if you owe $1,500 in taxes, right, every year, if you miss that payment when it's due on that due date, it'll go up like $900. So now you got to pay the 15 plus the 900. And if you miss that payment, now it goes up quadruple. And now you can't afford it. And they give you a date that they're gonna come and take it if you don't pay it. Now that house is gone. Now you moving out the house that you so-called own because we really don't own it, right? Because it's all about the land. So he said in the one of all things, read up.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He shall do what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
What is this enemy going to do?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
When we was brought over here on slave ship, did we not have yokes of iron on our neck? Chains. And then when we got off, we got up on them blocks and it was what? When the boat landed over here in what? In New York, right? Just say the slave ship docked in New York. The slave ship's getting off. We got off the ships only to stand on stumbling blocks, like blocks that's before us, right? And what did they do when they put us up on them blocks? They do it with a car today. 35, 45, 35, 45, 50 sold.
Oh, okay.
The auction. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'll take you to, the auction, all right? But we're going to read it out of the Bible, though. That's why I brought that up, because it's in the Bible, all right? Now, go ahead and read that from the top, straight through, without no interruption.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
We're going to put a yoke of iron upon our necks until we are destroyed. When we are destroyed, that means we don't know our heritage. We don't know what land we come from. Jerusalem is the motherland. That's where we come from.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But we fled down in Africa. So most of our people say we African American. Right? We're not African, we're children of Israel.
That's right.
We're Hebrews. Only thing we got to do is find out what tribe we're from.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? And you found out what tribe you was from today.
That's right.
You're from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
right.
That's who you truly are, King. That's who we are.
That's right.
Mexicans is our brothers, man.
That's right.
Right? The Puerto Ricans is our brothers.
That's right.
The Haitians is our brothers.
Ah.
Jamaicans is our brothers.
That's
The
right.
Cubans is our brothers, man.
Ah.
Right?
Teach
We
you,
got
Doc.
12 brothers, man.
That's right.
Right? Because Jacob had 12 sons, man. That's where you get the 12 tribes from, because he had
That's
12
right.
sons. His sons, every son had sons, and they populated. That's where you get the 12 tribes from,
That's
King.
right.
That's us, our heritage. We're the only ones that build up things for free. All of us went through this stuff. All of us went to slave ships, right? The Mexicans, they went on slave ships. And look, hey, give me Deuteronomy 28:54. Let's get that. 28:54. Because check this out, King. On the border of the United States, over there by, what is that? Down by Texas, Mexico.
Hey, y'all do this every Sunday? I mean,
Every Saturday.
Saturday?
Every Saturday, King.
Yeah.
This is a flyer, right? It's a YouTube channel highlighted, King. WFI Pittsburgh. You're going to see yourself out here today as well. Now, what I want you to do is go on that YouTube and click on whatever you want to learn about. All right? It's all our history in it. It's all to get us to the kingdom. So your job is to come back to God's laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? Keep the laws. We all do the commandments, but keep the law.
Right.
That's why we got fringes on. Because it's the law.
Right.
So you ain't gonna find that in the commandments, it's in the law. As well as the important shrimp, crab, and lobster. So check out that YouTube and learn more and start doing them. You can buy these off the online. Type in Hebrew Israelite shirts with fringes and get you your fringes.
That's right.
Because God commanded us to. That's how we show that we are obedient to the Lord thy God.
That's right.
All right, King? What's your name?
Call me Meech.
Meech. All right, I'm Brother Obadiah, okay? Hey, it's good talking to you.
Alright.
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
King.
Go ahead, Doc.
The book of Revelation chapter 14 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and have faith of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
All glory and praise to our Heavenly Father, man. We out here for the lost sheep, man. Right? We out here for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, letting you know that you are the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man.
right.
There's a lot of phonies and fakes and deceivers in this world, man.
right.
That God called them Satan that stole our nationality, and they trying to keep us from finding out who we are, man. We so great of a people, they stole our nationality, and they claim to be us. And they put us in that position, man. We are the greatest thing that ever walked this earth, man. We are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and understand that thing, man. I'm talking to you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You got something up? Give me Ecclesiastes. You got something? Oh, yeah, you can drop that. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, up. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 real quick. Right? What you got?
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
What is the conclusion of the whole matter? What is you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans down here on earth for? Read up.
Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God.
Are they here?
Fear God.
Ain't no fear in the Most High God, but God telling you to fear Him with us, huh?
And keep His commandments.
And do what?
And keep His commandments.
And do what?
And keep His commandments.
Wow.
For this is the duty, the whole duty of man.
This the what?
This is the whole duty of man.
That's why we exist, to serve our Heavenly Father. And a lot of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is not doing that, man. So you're going to get put to